Hi,
Hey, how are
how
you?
are you?
I'm
Good to
okay. Thanks
see
for
you.
asking. How's
Yes.
everything? Good
Uh,
morning for you, huh?
yeah, thank you. Thank you for chatting. I know it's a little later in your day, but that's the one thing about working from home. It gives us a little bit of flexibility.
Yeah, for you, yes. I'm in the office today.
Oh, you are?
Yes, sometimes I'm in the office, but it's very easy for me. I have a garage under our building. I walk in the ninth floor. I have a single office, so I don't meet anybody during my day. So it's also from the perspective of social distancing, it's correct. And
Yes.
remote working is nice, but there's somebody who has to check the physical post and
Yeah.
open it and make sure that all the invoices go to the administrative persons. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, that's my job actually.
So you've taken that on. You've taken on the role to be the one for the team. That's nice,
Ex
Dirk.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And you work
Yeah.
from home?
I
All the
am.
all the
Yeah. I've been working from home now. It's the seventh week. And so I have my finance department down the hall, which is my husband working, and then school is happening for my son, and then Alexis is finishing off college, her
cool.
classes. Yeah, so
Yeah.
but I see people are coming on, so we'll wait a couple more seconds here for people to log on. I don't know if you done Instagram Live before, Dirk, or is this something new for you?
This is, I was watching to several of Instagram Live for sure,
Yeah,
but it's my first time that I make it. But I do a lot of video conferences on different tools, so it's just a new tool for me.
right. Yeah, same. I mean, this was the first time. Actually, it was Sadia who suggested that we try these Instagram Live, and I think they're fun. And it's nice because if you and I were together in Amsterdam, we would have time to have a chat. If we had seen each other last week, and I always enjoy catching up with you. You have such wonderful market insights, and that's where I wanted to reach out to people that I would normally see, and catch up with what they're doing. And
Yeah.
so we'll get started. We have more people coming on, and that's what happens. People come on and off. And so, Dirk, we were mentioning a little bit. So you're actually in your office today, but tell us, what have you been up to? I know you're at home with the girls too, a little bit more, or you were, and tell us where you are at as in your family.
Yeah, actually, since mid of March, everything is locked down in Germany. So they closed all the schools, they closed kindergartens, they closed all the public places, all the playgrounds. So everything for public life is closed. We are allowed to go out. That means uh, you can go out for a little run, you can bike ride, you can do everything sportive, but we are not allowed to leave the house with more than two people, and it's not allowed to make like street parties with more than two persons. So we try to physical distance from each other as good as we can, and this started like mid of March, also like 6, 7 weeks ago. And you can imagine having three kids at home, which
Ugh,
are in between the age of 1.5 and 6. It's really challenging, but it's also a lot of fun. I'm happy I have a good support. I live on an area with my parents-in-law, and my wife is a teacher, so she's at home as well. And we have a nice garden, so we are a lucky family that we can join a lot of time outside. And the weather was super nice in the last few weeks. It was more like spring or early summer, so we had a good family time. But in between, it was always a little bit difficult to work from remote. And we finished our current issue, Sports International magazine number 292, which was originally thought to be published Friday before Kingpins.
yeah.
Yeah, we published it on all channels, so you can read the newest, hottest, freshest Sports International news about the fabric industry. I have it here. It's the denim sourcing issue,
It looks
uh,
great.
which
Yes.
has super cool content with a lot of news about our business, our industry, from retail to the manufacturers. Yeah, but unfortunately, nothing happened. There's no trade show, there's no
Yeah.
personal meeting, which is a little bit sad for me. And I'm honest, I travel pretty much, as you know,
Yeah.
sometimes a little bit too much when you ask my family at home. But after 6 weeks, 7 weeks, I really miss traveling a little bit. I would love to go to Amsterdam last week. I would love to go to Milan in June, which is also now postponed to September.
Right.
So I don't think that there will any trade show, any business meeting before end of August, beginning of September. Actually, in Germany, we have around 160,000 cases of COVID-19 and around 6,500 deaths, which
Wow.
is a good ratio
Yeah,
compared to other countries.
definitely compared
And
to the US for sure.
uh, exactly, and but it's so strange when you go out, when you go to a supermarket, you have to keep the distance of at least 1.5 meters. And since Monday last week, everybody is forced to wear a mask when you go to a public place, when you go to a bank, when you go to a supermarket, when you go, for example, in our company, we have a little canteen, a restaurant where we can go. We also have to wear a mask when we pick up our food. So
Oh,
it's a little bit
yeah.
strange, yeah. And
Yeah, I'm not
I'm not
used to the
used to it.
mask. Yeah, I'm not. It's
Not
so strange. You know, you look at somebody and you're not sure if it's who it is. But yeah, I mean, we have masks too. This is actually one that was made from shimaseki, and so it's a knit mask that you put the insert in, and it's a development that they made using our
oh,
refibra. So
nice.
now we're trying different ones. This one I do like. It's more comfortable, but otherwise, yeah, it's very strange for us to be wearing masks all the time.
Oh, it's also a challenge, and it's also a little exercise for all the people sitting at home. Everybody starts using mask and creating his own mask. And hey, do you have a mask? I can make you one. Do you want to have one? And then you
Yeah.
change. Okay, I give you a bottle of wine. You give me a mask, and
Right.
it's also like a little fun in the neighborhood. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's
So
true.
yeah, so that's actually the funny part, but actually it's not fun. Yeah? So
Right.
um,
Right.
it's traffic is very low. Really, I would say I just had the news numbers that 10.1 million people in Germany are under short time work, reduced working hours, which means
Yes.
every fifth worker in the moment is under reduced working hours, which means that there's a reduced payment as well. But Germans are always prepared, and I think we are the number one in insurance. So we have a government insurance which pays us a little salary back. So
Right.
it's not that we don't earn any money, but it's reduced and we get it back from the government. But it's not fun now, when every fifth person is under short work, which means people don't earn that much, people don't consume that much. Nobody goes to the stores and buys any goods. And this actually changed Monday last week. They reopened the stores because most of them were closed. Everything which was not relevant for the general system was closed. And now all the food stores, all the fashion stores, all the bookstores are reopened again, but only up to a size of 800 square meters.
Oh,
And
okay.
you can only enter with a mask. So it's not like back in the days where it was full. Sabina, our editor in chief, just did an article about the reopen of the pedestrian areas in Cologne. And there was some feedback of the retailers, which said it's like 10 to 15% of the regular traffic, which is very low.
Yeah.
Uh, and
But yeah, and what are they saying in Germany though about digital sales? How much are they up?
it is okay, but it does not compensate the loss of real retail. I
Yeah.
think it's not that the people don't want to buy anything, but people are trying to save some money. So actually, when you have potentially less money because of short-time work and it's a crisis and nobody knows what happens, nobody knows how long it will take, and it's not like, okay, in 2 weeks we open everything and it's like it was before. So I think the consumption is decreasing a lot. People are more safety, try to save money, and they don't want to invest too much money in things they don't really need.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
don't think it's a luxury problem that people don't buy 5 T-shirts this week and they won't buy it next week. So I think there's This is different. If you are not able to see your dentist in a moment, you can go and see it in August or in July.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
but the T-shirt you did not buy in April, you won't buy it in August. So this is lost.
It is.
Yeah,
It's totally lost sales. And so, the speculation is, are we actually skipping one season, or are we even skipping two seasons out of all of this? Are the consumption patterns decreasing so much?
but this is
What will happen to fall?
this I have no idea. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think that there will be the new normal. It will happen someday. It will take a little bit longer than most of the people hope, but we will get back to a normal system. And maybe it's a change in the traditional system that there is no fall, spring, summer, season, whatever. So it's
Yeah.
like maybe the never out of stock companies are the big winner, or
Yeah.
maybe I have no idea. So at the end, in my opinion, it's the question of PR and marketing, how you handle the situation in your company. You
Right.
can. There are always winners and always losers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you are well prepared and if you are good in communication and you can handle your clients and your consumers in a good way and offer things in combination of online and offline, I think this can work pretty easy. But
Yeah.
everything which is not done, if you work in the seasonal business, what you don't have now, it's lost. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's not going to come back at all. And you're right. It's different ways of thinking, and companies have to continue to evolve. I mean, no one could plan for this. No one really knows how will the consumer react as we come out of this. Here in New York City, we're still closed until May 15th, so we still have a couple more weeks. And then the government has set up, different phases of reopening. And retail for apparel, it's not the main priority. I also think what will happen in changes for like the restaurant industry, which is so big in New York City too. All of this, with the social distancing, and in retail stores, how will then customers, will you only have a limit of how many can go into the store at one time? What will happen to dressing rooms? What will happen to
good question.
returns?
Do
Will
we have to
people?
disinfect the T-shirt somebody else tried?
Yes,
The
exactly. Yeah.
questions like this, and there's a really insecurity in the general public that people don't really know what's going on.
Right.
And there's too many experts telling you everything in different media channels. The one says don't do this, the other one says don't do that. It's forbidden to do this. This is dangerous. So nobody knows exactly
Yeah.
what's the truth. And in my opinion, as far as there's no medicine against, it won't change because the risk to get the disease is always there, whatever you do.
Right.
And
Yeah.
this is not fun at all, especially when you have kids at home, young kids, and you want to be safe, but you have to work, you have to travel, you have to go around.
Yeah.
You never know what happens.
Yeah.
So that's a little
So
sad.
I'm missing the traveling too. And when do you think will be your first trip? Where do you think you'll go?
Hopefully, it will be Munich, 1st of September for Blue Zone.
Yes.
Yeah? The official date of the German government is they don't allow, in the moment, big events until August 31st. So it
Right.
means Blue Zone can be the lucky one that they are allowed to open, and it will be a show. It will be a good show. Then also, PTOMO postponed the date from mid of June to the first week of September. So there's like an overlay of PTOMO and Blue Zone and Unique Fabric Start. So it will be a very intense travel week for all the people from the business.
Yeah.
But I have one little thought. So do you think that all the people which are usually going to a show will come to
No,
a show in the first week of reopening again?
I
Well,
don't.
I don't really think so.
I don't think so either. And I think there's a couple of factors, because you're going to have companies that are still dealing with it and have travel reductions in their budgets. And also we're going to see a lot of reorganizations within companies too. these furloughs or reduced time, we call it furloughs here, reduced time, those eventually will turn into lost jobs. You
Most
can't,
probably, yeah.
you know, and so I think then the reorganizations will also consume the time for people that otherwise might be traveling. And I think shows even the second half of this year will need to have some kind of digital component in order to continue to have the connection to their attendees that they've had in the past.
True. And then
But I
maybe
think,
there's another point, yeah. So who knows if you from the US are allowed to enter
well,
European
this is
Union
it. Does
31st of
anyone even
August,
want
yeah?
to, right? Does anybody want a New Yorker to come if they're still trying to get back? And you still don't know as Germany reopens, and as the
It was
US
the
is,
Chinese people, huh? We are always, no,
yes,
we
it
don't want the
was.
Chinese now. It's the
Well,
US people. No, where are you from? New
I
York?
know.
No, forget. Please don't come.
Yeah, well, the last time I saw you was in Munich at Blue Zone in
Yeah,
February.
exactly.
And
Which
then
was pretty good. I like that event,
yeah, it
with
was,
all the nice food and nice party in the evening. It's
yes.
always nice, yeah.
Well, think about that party on the first night. All the people packed in the tent.
It's tent, yeah.
Yeah, and that's when it was just starting in Italy. It had gone through China, and there were all the precautions that the Chinese exhibitors couldn't come. Starting more in Italy, and then Blue Zone had, some of the do not shake hands, here's additional hand sanitizer. But what will trade shows have to do as far as precautions come the fall?
Good question. In my
Yeah,
opinion, it's a question about the government rules.
yeah,
So they make the rules. If they allow you to organize events with more than 50, 100, 500 people, so everything is possible. Yeah, you have to take care of disinfection. You have to make maybe when you like a good Disneyland merchandise store where you
yeah,
just follow your line and you are not allowed to go in the wrong
yeah,
direction, and maybe a reduced numbers of people in the stands. So everything is possible. Yeah,
right.
so um, I don't believe that all the online trade shows will take over because, especially in our business, you have to touch the fabrics, you have to touch, feel it, and compare it. So I don't think you can make it everything from remote
Right.
and do your order. Maybe you're ordering online, but you have to feel and touch it. And our business is a face-to-face business. We have to see each other, and we have to make deals, and we have to talk to each other and find new ideas and think about cooperation and things like that. So this is actually a new challenge of the trade show organizers, what they will do. What's
Yeah.
for sure is there will be less shows, I guess. So
Well, I mean, it's hard because I feel like in the fall,
asking the manager of a budget of
yeah,
lensing. So
yeah, I know.
what are you planning about the show? So is that something you
Yeah.
already do, or is like you say, oh, maybe let's wait a little bit. What happens in the trade show world?
Well, that's very much, and we're waiting to see. I think last week was a test with Kingpins New York, um, which personally I was very happy with. I thought the technology behind it that worked very well. I missed though, like you said, the interaction, the touching and feeling. And the beauty of our product is that you can feel it, and that's very hard. How do you communicate that comfort and softness through digital? But I think for Kingpins New York, also, like here on Instagram Live, you can see who's coming on, and there's interaction, and there's comments. On Kingpins last week, there were questions, but you didn't get to see as much of the live interaction part. But having said that, I think Andrew and the team did a great job putting it together in a month, and wanted to make sure too that technically that you weren't having all these glitches. So I think as new,
The idea was super good. Organizing
yes,
everything
yeah,
online, like make a schedule. Starting at 9, we have a presentation of this company, followed by that, and we have like a webinar. So a great idea, but does it like the payoff of it? Was it good? Did you get any feedback like you regularly get at a trade show that people see and say, "Oh, Tricia, I don't like that," or "That was good"? So that's the question.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I did get feedback, especially from the mills, who were participating, but no one was launching anything totally new. It was a way of just maintaining connection during the time. Now's
Hmm.
not the time really to launch anything.
No,
Um,
no, I think in the mail world, actually, it's time to survive.
Yes,
Uh,
it's just survival mode. I think though having a format, a digital format, and I did hear this from some of the brand customers, is that they appreciated having this because their team members who normally wouldn't be able to travel to Amsterdam were able to access that information.
mhm.
So the democracy of having it online allowed more people to actually look at it. And the fact that the presentations are still available until May 8th on Kingpins, people can log on and still look at them.
Yeah.
I think how it evolves for Kingpins New York, because that will exist as a digital platform, will be interesting. And where other shows, I'm also involved with Tex World in New York. That will also be a digital show in
When is
July.
Tex World New York? In July. Do you think
Yeah,
it will
July.
happen? Or
It will happen. So it's digital from
digital?
the
Okay, but
21st to the 23rd. And that will be a different format than how Kingpins put out theirs, because they're making it more, you have showrooms. Many of, there were other software providers who had already developed these types of digital trade shows. I think now we're forced to have to use them and figure out how it works. So I agree with you, though. It's not going to replace the physical gatherings that we have, but it just might augment it, in between until we get back into the new norm.
it will be different for sure. Yeah. So
Yeah.
life will be different after or post Corona, or maybe there is no post Corona. Maybe we have to live with it for the next 5 years. So, but
Yeah.
we will all find a way to survive and to keep a business running and to be creative and to work out new things. But what's necessary in those times is you have to be visible. You should not
Right.
hide. You should like wave the flag of the company, say, "Hey, we are doing this." And actually, what's going on is I get so many news from companies telling me, "Hey, we are now in the mask business. We do this, we do that." So positive communication is pretty good. Yeah,
Yes.
and it's also it also has to be like regularly, constantly. It
Right.
doesn't. It's not enough. That's what I'm always saying as a communication specialist working in the publishing business since more or less 20 years now. You have to be visible constantly, and you have to
Yeah.
make like a plan. What do you want to communicate, and when? What do you want to promote? How do you do it? Which channels do you use? And don't follow any of the general meanings that no, everything has to be influencer business. No, it doesn't help in our business. We
Yeah.
have to have a bright mix, a full range of different ideas from the technical information to the very emotional information. Everything has to be in a package, matching
Right.
in an individual package to each company. One
Right.
company can be more funny, like I don't know. I'm sure you know Diao
Yeah.
from
I,
China.
I knew you were going to say that.
They are always
That's,
acting with a very funny way of communication.
oh, yeah.
Others are more conservative.
Right.
So
Right.
it has to match to the DNA of the company.
Yeah.
And this is what's actually missing a little bit. There are some very good communication specialists in our industry. For example, Candiani. They make a great job. They make great advertisement. You see a lot of videos. They are very active in all kind of businesses, and others are quite quiet. So you don't hear anything. And now it's the time that those people wake up
Right.
and tell the client, "Hey, here we are." Um, I just talked to a Chinese manufacturer a few days ago, and he said, "You know what? We are waiting for the orders. We are ready to go." And said,
Yeah.
"Okay, why don't you tell the people? Why don't you make like a spread out and tell the people, hey, here we are. We are ready to go.
Yeah.
Give
Let
us
them
the
know.
order. We can do everything." Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, it's difficult, but that's the problem of our industry. Most of the companies in the denim industry, they have a quite good product. They have good sales system, but they are missing the marketing part, which for me is one of the three big pillars in being successful.
Right.
If you have no communication in the company, no one knows that you have a product and that you sell a product. So it's really necessary to be visible, to go to the trade shows, physical or digital, It's necessary to go out to all also the fashion trade shows and to see what's going on in the market. It's necessary to work with designers and make cool creations and cool ideas. Some key products, maybe some capsule collections, which are super crazy. That's really necessary.
Right.
Yeah, but in my opinion, in the moment, in a crisis, the budgets are missing. Huh? That's a big problem.
Well, this is always that catch-22, right? Companies get concerned, but so what are you doing then to kind of adapt for customers? Are you coming up with new products, new packages? Are you seeing a huge increase on your digital traffic?
We have a huge increase on our website. We have, compared to the same week last year, we have plus 65% in traffic.
Wow.
Uh,
Yeah.
so, but we also send out a daily editorial newsletter for free. We have a lot of digital platforms. Okay, Sports International the base is a magazine, but
Yeah.
we publish the magazine quarterly. So it means the printed product is on your desk like 4 times a year.
Right.
So we had to fill the time in between the issues already like 6, 7 years back. And we developed a lot of tools which can have daily touch to our clients. Editorial newsletter. We have standalone newsletters for advertisement platforms. We have different specials. We have a trade show calendar on our website, which is very well used, that
Right.
people really check a lot what's going on, because we have an overview. Most of the people have no idea that Denim PV in June is postponed to Paris in September.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like being the information platform, and we try to be the platform for the whole sector, from the yarn makers to the mills to the manufacturers down to the retail, and try to deliver information in all channels. What we do since years is we have digital, we have our print magazine with a print run of 30,000 printed copies. And in addition, we have the same magazine version online as a digital magazine,
Okay.
which works pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And in addition, we have an application on iTunes with a magazine. So we try to deliver information on different channels to different people, because we found out that all the designers, all the creative people, they love paper.
Yeah.
It's not a question of age of the people. It's just they love paper. They love to cut it out and put it on a mood board. They love to make itches and scratches in and put it somewhere. And all the marketing people and the sales people, they try to avoid carrying tons of paper around. Yeah, so they use everything
Right.
on their mobile or on their tablet or on their laptop. So we try to just find out different channels to reach different people, and
Yeah.
that's our idea. Yeah.
Yeah. And so
So
how has the download of the latest edition been? So normally you would have had the download and the physical distribution at Kingpins coming out the same week. Where have you seen a lot of difference or an increase in the download?
I don't have the numbers of the e-paper already. We
Hmm.
just published it 2 weeks ago. So we always wait like 1 month until we check the numbers of the e-paper.
Right.
When I have the numbers, I will let you know.
Okay. All right, good. Well, I downloaded it. I thought it looked great, and I have been keeping up. In particular, I really like the article. I think it might have been yesterday. The days sort of blend in on with Renzo
Mm.
on diesel, and kind of pushing the Italian government and say, hey, it's important to have made
To
in Italy.
open the economy. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Let's get it going. And so I thought that article was very good. But I've been keeping up with your newsletters. You guys have been doing a great job. And I miss seeing you in person, Dirk. But I have it on my calendar too. I'm hoping my first trip is also going to
September.
Munich in
Yeah,
September.
hopefully keep the
Yes.
fingers crossed, right?
Yes. So we're all using that as kind of at least a fixture to get together again. And, I'm sure there'll still be many precautions we have in the fall, and it won't be the same travel schedule that we always had, but we need to
Which is
continue.
nice in a way, yeah. Also not to
Yes.
travel that much.
There are some good things, right? Like
True,
you said,
true.
you're spending more time with the family. What else have you done that you hope to take with you out of this time?
Actually, we worked on our garden a lot, huh? So we built up like a little playground in our garden, which is not quite finished. And I can't wait for the time to hang out with my friends in our garden, have a nice barbecue,
Yeah.
and have like a big together, having drinks and barbecue, kids playing together. This is what I really miss. Yeah, but on the other hand, I also took a lot that being with a family is also something very important, which most of the people don't take that serious, taking care of
Right.
your kids.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm a little bit sad that, for example, my oldest daughter, she will go to school in summer, and she's like really missing the last time of kindergarten, where they make like a sleepover in the kindergarten, and they are like exercising some theater pieces on a big festival at the last days of kindergarten. This is what she's really actually missing.
Uh,
So
yeah.
yeah, and for example, things like that. There's no sport action. Like no, we have a lot of clubs where people go for gymnastics and things like that. Everything is closed in the moment. I hope
Right.
this will. I hope this will end as soon as possible, just to be just to have more fun for all the kids.
Yeah. Yeah. I know that that part is really hard that they've had to end their year so abruptly.
What do you take with?
What am I take? I definitely more of the family time has been interesting, and you know, we've now turned into some rituals of having dinner together more. Which on a regular week we were lucky if we had dinner together twice, just with everyone's schedules. And I think you know it's just also I've been in touch more with my extended family. Um, so I think there's definitely that point. We've been going for walks more. We try to end our day with a walk. Otherwise, you feel like you're still in the same spot. So I would like to take some of those things forward. We'll see.
I agree.
But
Same with me.
but Dirk, it was great to catch up with you. Thanks
Yeah,
for
it's
your
always
time
nice talking
today,
to you. You're
and
welcome.
we'll be in touch. And you know, say give our best regards to the whole team there at Sportswear International.
I will. And enjoy your long weekend. We have a long weekend from now on. Yeah?
Oh,
So
yes,
it's
you
a
do.
Labor Day
We
tomorrow.
don't. We don't
You
in the
don't?
US, but you do. So,
Yeah, because that's why our office is empty. And I think all the German people are already on the way back home and trying to prepare for a long weekend, making
yeah.
ready for barbecue. Unfortunately, the weather is not that good that weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we make the best out of it.
I'm sure you will. Okay.
Try our
So
best.
signing
Okay.
off. All right.
Bye
Take
bye.
care.
Ciao.
Bye, Dirk.
Ciao.